Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Will County Board meeting for January 18th, 2024. I'll call the meeting to order. Board Member Diaz will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and introduce clergy.
Sorry. It's okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Sandy Costa is going to pray for us.
Good morning. I'm so heartened to see all of you here this morning and to know that your being here means that you really love this community, that you would gather together on these mornings and do this work, and it blesses all of us as we go forward. We're on the road to making Will County a really wonderful place, so let's turn to divine inspiration to help along the way. May the winds of wisdom inform you. May you be blessed with discomfort at easy answers, half-truths, and superficial solutions. May you feel the issues deeply in your heart. May the fire of inspiration ignite within you. May you be blessed with anger at racism, sexism, oppression, and exploitation of people. May you speak against injustice and inequality. May the waters of life nourish you. May you be blessed with tears to shed for those who suffer. May you listen to your constituents and act with love to aid them. May the solid earth uphold you. May you be blessed with the foolishness to think you can truly improve our community. May you do the things that others tell you cannot be done. Greet the work of this day with joy and gladness. Behave in such a way that our descendants will look upon us with gratitude. Walk in beauty and grace together, woven into a strong basket called community. For we're all part of a mystery that flows through human endeavor. May the workings of the universe protect you today and always. Blessed be. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Balich. Trainier. Dean Schlottman. Van Dyne. Pretzel. Butler. Newquist. Richmond. Parker. Williams. Diaz. Winfrey. Coleman. Logan. Freeman. Revis. Mitchell. Ortiz. Berkowitz. Mueller. Costa. Ogala.
With 21 members being present, we have a quorum. I need a motion to place on file the certificate of publication. Motion by Ortiz. Seconded by Mitchell. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Balich. Yes. Trainier. Yes. Dean Schlottman. Yes. Van Dyne. Yes. Pretzel. Yes. Butler. Yes. Newquist. Yes. Richmond. Yes. Parker. Yes. Williams. Yes. Diaz. Yes. Winfrey. Yes. Coleman. Yes. Logan. Yes. Freeman. Yes. Revis. Yes. Mitchell. Yes. Ortiz. Yes. Berkowitz. Yes. Mueller. Yes. Costa.
Yes. 21 in the affirmative. The motion carries. We have 4 minutes to approve, so I need a motion to approve the special meeting from December 7th, 2023. Motion by Mitchell. Seconded by Ortiz. Is there previous? Previous by Balich. Seconded by Coleman. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. We need to approve. I need a motion to approve the recess minutes from December 21st, 2023. Motion by Dean Schlottman, seconded by Newquist. Is there previous? Previous by Mueller. Seconded by Winfrey. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the executive session county board minutes from November 16th, 2023. Motion by Mitchell, seconded by Freeman. Previous by Winfrey, seconded by Trenier. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. And finally, I need a motion to approve the executive session county board minutes from December 21st, 2023. Motion by Mitchell, seconded by Freeman. Previous by Winfrey, seconded by Mutler. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Madam Clerk, will you please acknowledge the elected official and media present today?
Today we have County Executive Jennifer Bertino Tarrant, County Clerk Lawrence Daly Ferry, Coroner Lori Summers, and Auditor Duffy Blackburn. And we didn't have any media that signed in.
All right, at this time, we have a honorary resolution recognizing Martin Luther King Jr. Member Richmond will read the proclamation. You want to go here?
Good morning, everyone. Recognizing the memory of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day was celebrated on January 15th, 2024. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a modern American hero whose leadership encouraged people of all races to rise up against injustice, and his commitment to stand peacefully for the conviction that all men are created equal brought about changes in laws of our nation. Dr. King's dream was not just a call to change our laws, but also a challenge to all Americans to change their hearts by refusing to judge people by their skin color, national origin, race, or religion. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service Act was enacted in 1994. It is the only federal holiday observed as a National Day of Service, a day on, not a day of. This year's Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service was held on January 15th and called for Americans from all walks of life to work together to strengthen the communities, bridge barriers, and move us closer to Dr. King's version of a beloved community. I encourage everyone to celebrate the memory of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Motion by Richmond, seconded by Ortiz. Previous roll call by Winfrey, seconded by Trenier. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. At this time, we are open up to public comments for today's agenda items. Is there anyone here who needs to speak on today's agenda items? All right, seeing none. All resolutions and ordinances from the December 21st, 2023 board meeting have been signed and returned. And now we're going to move on to new business. We have a presentation by Mary Tatrell on IMRF.
Good morning, and thank you for giving me this time to present to you on IMRF. I have provided a handout for each of you, and you should have it on your desk if you wish to follow along. So Will County became a part of IMRF in 1946, and historically county board members were eligible to participate in IMRF. They had to perform 600 hours of service. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so they had to perform 600 hours of service, and they had to opt in. So county board members, unlike employees, could either opt into IMRF or they could choose not to participate in IMRF. That changed in August of 2016 when Public Act 99-900 was signed and became effective. At that point in time, no county board members who were not first elected prior to August 26, 2006 were no longer eligible to participate in IMRF. For those who were first elected as county board members prior to that time, they could participate if they performed the required hourly service, and the county board passed a resolution certifying that the position required that many hours of service. In response to that, the county board considered the matter and For those of you who were here, you might remember at that particular time, there was a strong sentiment in the community against public pensions. So there were a large number, there was a group of county board members that were not in favor of pensions. And rather than bringing forward a resolution certifying that in fact the position required, and I think they there was a change that also required 1,000 hours rather than the service requirement of 600. But either way, 600 or 1,000, they brought forward a resolution that would have eliminated participation by the county board members. The state's attorney's office advised the county board that they had no authority to bring forward a resolution basically terminating the participation of county board members in IMRF. So they did vote to withdraw that resolution. And the advice from the state's attorney's office was based on the Article 13 of the 1970 Constitution, which prohibits the impairment of pensions. So then in October of 2016, the county board, so they took no further action on county board members. They were not interested in supporting pensions. They brought forward no further resolutions. However, they did change the hourly standard to 1,000 hours for employees, any new employees going forward. They would have to serve 1,000 hours, as would the countywide elected officials, in order to be eligible for the IMRF pension. Around that same time as Public Act 99-900 was passed, the IMRF board passed a resolution requiring that county boards not certify just once that county board members served at least 1,000 hours, but that they do it every 2 years. And that was for both county board members and countywide elected officials. After that requirement was passed, the county board in August of 2017 brought forward a resolution to certify that the hours necessary to perform the duties of the various countywide elected officers, would require at least 1,000 hours. Again, the county board declined to pass that resolution. Rather, they voted to withdraw that resolution. At that point, the Bruce Tidwell, who was our administrator at the time for IMRF, and I got on the phone with IMRF because of our concerns that that would impair the ability of the countywide elected officials and their pensions, and that there was no authority to require that. The IMRF, and I will say, we had previous conversations expressing the same concern with regard to the county board members. So there were a lot of telephone calls, a lot of telephone conferences going back and forth between legal counsel for IMRF and the state's attorney's office and Bruce Tidwell, who was the director of HR for the county and the IMRF administrator at that time. They were not persuaded with regard to county board members, but they did acknowledge that this created a problem for the countywide elected officials. They inherently, agreed that constitutionally, countywide elected officials are different than many employees at the municipal level. They control the internal operations of their office. They are not answerable to the county board, so it was inappropriate for county board to be deciding how many hours it took to perform the services of the countywide elected officials. So the IMRF did then withdraw that requirement, and they allowed the countywide elected officials to certify their hourly performance themselves, and they did that for some time. Then at some point, IMRF actually even just rescinded that requirement and no longer required the certification every 2 years, realizing it was a problem. I'm looking for the year that Williamson County came down. I apologize, I don't have it. But in the early 2020s, the Supreme Court handed down the decision in Will County Board of Commissioners versus the Board of Trustees. In that case, there were three members of the County Board of Williamson County that challenged the amendments to the pension code that required the certification of county boards as to the performance of duties, hourly duties for county board members. Their allegations were that this impaired their pensions. It provided a requirement that was not previously in the pension code, that there was no allegation that those county board members did not actually perform the requisite number of hours, and the failure of Williamson County. In Williamson County, it's not that they didn't pass the resolution, it's just that they passed it 2 weeks past the deadline for enacting their resolution. They successfully argued that in the circuit court, and they were able to appeal directly to the Supreme Court because it was a constitutional question. The Supreme Court upheld the decision of the circuit court, finding that the law was unconstitutional as applied to those 3 members of the county board. It has long been found in the state of Illinois that once an employee or a participating member of a pension program begins their employment or their service, that the legislature cannot unilaterally change the requirements of the pension so as to impair the eligibility for those full pension rights. And this is one of the reasons you'll see there are different tiers for the pensions, because once someone is enrolled in the pension program, they can't change it for those people. They can change it for employees going forward, so someone who starts after the changes or someone who is elected after the changes, they can change it for, but not for those who are already participating members. So in response to the Williamson County case, in September of 2022, the county board did again engage in another effort to certify the hourly performance of county board members. That time, Resolution 22-292 did pass. However, IMRF rejected it because some of the language was no longer accurate. I will say the county board used the form from the IMRF website, but they had not updated it to reflect the changes. County board brought it back in October to reconsider it, but by then various concerns were raised by some of the county board members. One of the major concerns was that some of the county board members in the intervening years had begun to take their pensions. Being that they were no longer in a qualified IMRF position, they were allowed to take their pension and receive their salary as a county board member. If they were then required to be under the pension, they would have had to pay back all of those pension payments, and they would have had to been required to pay any contributions that would have accrued during that time frame. So support for the resolution was lost, and that resolution was withdrawn and not passed. If the county board were to consider a new resolution, they can still consider a new resolution. It would be only for those members who were elected before August 26th of 2016. But they can only go back to May 17th of 2019 under the IMRF guidelines, because that's when they eliminated the requirement to recertify every 2 years. So if you have any questions about that, I know it's kind of a dry subject, but I'm willing to answer any questions you may have.
We have County Board Member Parker.
Becky, if you want to go, because I've done a lot of research on this, so
right.
if you want to go, and then I'll maybe follow up with you.
County Board Member Trenier.
Yeah, mine wasn't so much a question. I just wanted to maybe state for the record, there's only a few of us that have been around here. Oh, sorry. No. I just wanted to state for the record, there's only a few of us that were around during all of this. I have since learned that even though I collected my pension while still being a board member because they ended the qualified pension program, that if they were to reinstitute it, I could personally just not join again. I would not be required to join since I'm an elected official, unlike an employee where if they work 1,000 hours or the position is expected to encumber them for 1,000 hours, they absolutely must join IMRF. And I say this knowledge, and Mary can correct me if I'm wrong, but Ken Harris, a former county board member, got elected to be the assessor of our township. And he could have opted into the IMRF program, but because he's elected, he didn't have to. And so I would assume that would be the same for me. I could just drop the program.
No, you can't, so you do have you can opt in or opt out, but once you make the election, you cannot change it. So if you had opted in.
I didn't opt out. You all opted me out.
No. Well, we didn't, the IMRF.
Well,
by
actually,
passing
the Will County
requirements.
Board
And
opted me out.
the county board decided not to file a certification.
I
So,
didn't.
but I'm just saying, so if I just want to clarify, if what you're saying is if the county board passed a resolution and the solution for those who would have to pay back their pension or their contributions would be to opt out, that would not be the case because they had previously, and I've had conversations with IMRF legal counsel on this, because they had opted in originally, they would then say, you are in, you can't now opt out
Well,
under their rules. Now, I'm not going to.
yeah, no, you can't debate it. I get
Yeah.
it. No,
So,
my
yeah.
follow-up to that would be, do we have anything in writing anywhere from anyone that said I would be forced to pay back any contributions
I
I
have
received,
emails
et
from
cetera?
IMRF legal counsel saying that.
We could take them to court over
Right.
this.
Well, you
I-
as.
I would have to.
Yes, you as individuals absolutely can take them to court. And I will say, my analysis is that even as they are applying it now, doesn't quite comport with the finding that that statute was unconstitutional as applied to those members. So I mean, but that is up to individuals if they choose to challenge them legally.
Okay, thank you.
Hold on.
Thank you. So Jackie, thank you for saying that because that was one of the points I also researched. I did speak with many of our commissioners from Williamson County, the lawyer who went to court for them, and I spoke with the state's attorney from Williamson County. One of the things, I guess one of my questions was, is if it was found unconstitutional, why wasn't everybody automatically just brought back in?
You'll have to ask IMRF that.
All right. Then I also did some research here, and I, have some opinions from Justice Kilbride, which I'm sure you have seen. But one of the arguments was there was no due process. As far as the hours, they said that there was no definition in the description for county board members. There's no definition that says that we are part-time. So we should never have had to put our hours in. And then they also argued that we should never have had to pass the resolution in the first place because once you were in, you were in. You said back in however long people have been in IMRF, there was never a resolution for county board members every year to pass a resolution to opt in every year. That's one of Kilbride's arguments is once you're in, you're in.
And I will say that's what the state's attorney said back when that law was passed. We felt it was unconstitutional from the time it was passed because we felt it did in fact impair the pensions. We verbalized it. It's in minutes where we talked about that, Jackie. So we did say we thought it was unconstitutional.
So, and then to Jackie's point, I think that could be argued, and that was something else that the people from Williamson County said, that, because I brought up Jackie's point specifically, because I know that's the one thing between me and Jackie that we kind of pull back and forth on. So I would like to pursue this. So how do we pursue this? Is this something the county does
No.
individually? And why is that? Because Williamson County went forth as a county. It wasn't the individual.
Well, it
commissioners.
was my understanding that it was 3 county board members who went forward.
It is, but the county did it on,
But it's,
Right.
it's always been our position, we have no legal authorization to represent individual members of the county board. And since this is your individual pension issue, that it would be you would be required to go forward on your own.
so then we can get outside counsel?
Yeah.
And what
Yep.
about tort immunity? Would that be covered for that? And why?
It's not a tort issue.
Okay.
It's a contractual issue.
So for this county who is all about workers' rights and unions and everything, you're just going to back off and say you're on your own?
We have no legal authority, so the state's attorney only has the authority that's granted to him in the state statutes, just as the county board has only that authority which is granted to them in the state statute. So we have no legal authority to represent individuals in their private matters. And this is your pension rights, and so it is your private legal issue. It is not a county board issue. Well, I respectfully disagree.
For now, yeah, thank you.
County Board Member Newquist?
Thank you. So I just want to make sure that I totally understand the scope of this. In terms of county board members, this only applies to people elected prior to August of 2016, correct?
Correct.
Anyone elected after that is not eligible to participate in IMRF.
Correct.
What about, are there other elected countywides or other employees that, have kind of been caught in this same issue?
No, it is exclusively isolated to county board members.
Okay, thank you.
County Board Member Winfrey, did you? Okay, thank you, making sure.
Thank you. Just curious, and this may not be something you know, Mary, but for those of us who were in and who were affected by this, what happens to the money that was paid in on our account? Because I've been told that you can't transfer it into your 457 or anything. You can't do anything with it. You can't win, you can't break even, and you can't get out of that game. So what's the story there?
Well, you should contact IMRF. I mean, you can,
Again.
if you leave employment of an IMRF employer, you can generally withdraw any funds that you contributed.
No interest.
Correct.
But the money that the county paid in on our behalf into that plan.
No, because they calculate every year based upon contributions that have been made, how much the county owes. So presumably somewhere in there would be a credit for that.
The county would get a credit.
Well, it's all in the math. I'm not privy to how the math is done, determining what the county's liability is every year. That's done by IMRF, and the county receives, a calculation indicating how much has to be contributed, for each participating IMRF member.
Thank you.
Well, this is a very, we have a list. I know this is a very personal conversation here and impacting some of us more than others here too. So it may even be a good idea to have a follow-up conversation with the individuals that, who would like to discuss further. But we have a few more comments here. County Board Member Butler?
Hi, I just want to make this clear, or I would like you to make this clear. So if you were on the board by 2016, there is a path forward to regain your pension. There is some sort of path, not a guarantee, but a path forward to regain your pension.
Certainly, the Williamson County case indicates that that provision was unconstitutional as applied to county board members who were elected prior to August 26, 2016.
Okay, thank you.
County Board Member Mitchell. I'm letting everyone talk first before I go back to seconds.
I didn't know that you saw me, sorry. Okay, so let me ask this question. Since it's unconstitutional, then why can't we all just get on IMRF? Why is it only if you were elected? And I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm just asking, since it's unconstitutional, 2016 was, why is 2016 or 2019 the cutoff? Why can't anybody get on now? It's unconstitutional.
So, no, there's a difference between unconstitutional and unconstitutional as applied. So the Illinois Constitution states that pensions may not be impaired. So for those who were county board members, they already had a pension program for which there were certain requirements set forth. Any new requirements would be an impairment of that pension. Therefore, the legislature could not enact new requirements for those who were already in the program. They can change the program going forward for new employees, newly elected officials. So as of August 26, 2016, the state legislature made the determination that county board members would no longer be eligible for IMRF. So there is nothing unconstitutional about that going forward. It cannot be applied retroactively.
County Board Member Mueller?
Okay. I understand the presentation. I guess my question is, what are we doing about this? Because are we like taking a vote on something? Are we changing something?
I was just
I guess I'm
asked to
just curious because
present.
we're getting a huge presentation on this and it applies to 4 people on the board. So I just want to make sure I understand what we're being asked to do.
I don't think that there is any resolution or anything before you. It was asked that I present.
County Board Member Trenier?
So let's just say this presentation results in the chair of the county board putting forward a resolution. And I don't even know if that's the remedy here. And I guess that's my question. It seems to me County Board Member Parker, County Board Member Gould, who's now retired and gone, and any other County Board Member Winfrey, they could file a lawsuit. They could even call it Will County versus IMRF. They could get their pensions back. But if my name's not attached to it, would I have to comply?
I'm not sure I understand your question. You wouldn't, would
These
you
were
have to
3
comply
county
with
board
what?
members that sued, just 3. What if 3 other county board members from Will County decide to sue to get back into the pension program because what was done was unconstitutional? If my name is not on the lawsuit, am I required to be damaged by the lawsuit, I guess is the way to put it.
Well, I think if you're not a plaintiff in the
Right,
lawsuit,
plaintiff, that's the word.
it would not
Affect me.
affect you.
So the idea that and I'm not, you've already said you can't do this, but the idea of you representing the county to try to repair the damage done by this unconstitutional law, rule, regulation, whatever, you're saying that can't be done. But as individuals, they could go forward just like Williamson County did. They can get their pension restored and I don't have to be a part of it.
I don't know. If you're not a plaintiff, I don't think that you would be impacted.
So there you go.
Hold on. Okay.
I mean,
You all
and-
done? Yeah, okay. Hold on, hold on, wait, are you done? Were you gonna say something, Mary, to follow up? Okay, no? Okay. County Board Member Parker?
So if we do a resolution and it passes, let's say everything's great, it passes, Jackie would be implicated to have to sign on. But if we sue individually, she won't be implicated.
She's not a party to the lawsuit.
So, but could we do a resolution?
So what kind of a resolution are you
To
talking about?
Get us back into this unconstitutional law, make it fit in Will County, not just
So
Williamson County.
if it is the will of the county board, they can pass a resolution to certify that the county board position requires at least 1,000 hours of performance hours. And if they did that, it would be retroactive. I think it was May 19th of 2019 is what they would make it retroactive back to. And the IMRF's logic for that is because that's when they eliminated the requirement that county boards certify every 2 years.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. We'll probably have further conversation. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, Mary, thank you very much. We have no other comments, so we're going to go on to Land Use and Development Committee, Chair Pretzel.
Thank you, Madam Executive. I'd like to make a motion to open public hearing for all land use cases.
Motioned by Pretzel, seconded by Revis. Madam Clerk, please call.
Balich. Yes. Trainier. Yes. Dean Schlottman. Yes. Van Dyne. Yes. Pretzel.
Yes.
Butler. Yes. Newquist. Yes. Richmond. Yes. Parker. Yes. Williams. Yes. Diaz. Yes. Winfrey. Yes. Coleman. Yes. Logan. Yes. Freeman. Yes. Revis. Yes. Mitchell. Yes. Ortiz. Yes. Berkowitz.
Yes.
Mueller. Yes. Costa. Yes. 21.
We are now in public hearing. Please be advised, absolutely no new evidence or information will be allowed once this land use public hearing is closed. Do we have any comments for our land use cases today? Hurry up. All right. Yeah, I think, yeah. You want to make a motion to close it then? All right. Okay. Motion by Pretzel, seconded by Dean Schlottman. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Balich. Trainier. Dean Schlottman. Van Dyne. Pretzel. Butler. Newquist. Richmond. Parker. Williams. Diaz. Winfrey. Coleman. Logan. Freeman. Revis. Mitchell. Ortiz. Berkowitz. Mueller. Costa.
21. The public hearing is now closed. Chair Pretzel. Oh, sorry.
Thank you. First up on the agenda, ordinance amending the Will County, Illinois zoning ordinance as amended for zoning case ZC 23093. Moni 77 LLC, owner of record. Matt Walsh of Moni Solar West LLC, agent, requesting special use permit for commercial solar energy facility and a special use permit for battery energy storage facility. A variance for number of required mowings from 5 times to one time. A variance for maximum ground cover plant height from 13 inches to 36 inches in Moni Township, commonly known as 26845 South Will Center Road, Moni, Illinois County Board District Number 3. We're going to take two votes today. One's for the special use permit for the solar energy facility. The second one will be for the battery energy storage. So first up, I motion, I move to approve the request for a special use permit for a commercial solar energy facility.
Motion by Pretzel, seconded by Trenier. Previous roll call, or any discussion? Previous roll call by Newquist. Oh, I'm sorry, you have discussion? Yep, go ahead.
No, I'm going to be a no.
Okay, then we'll, all right. We'll take a roll call. Madam Clerk, please take.
Balich. No. Trainier. Yes. Dean Schlottman.
No.
Van Dyne.
Yes.
Pretzel.
Yes.
Butler. Yes. Newquist. Yes. Richmond.
No.
Parker.
Yes.
Williams. Yes. Diaz.
Yes.
Winfrey. Yes. Coleman. Yes. Logan.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Revis.
Yes.
Mitchell.
Yes.
Ortiz.
Yes.
Berkowitz.
No.
Mueller.
Yes.
Costa. 17.
17 in the affirmative, the motion carries.
Thank you. Next is a special use permit for battery energy storage facility, and I so move.
Motion by Pretzel. Seconded by Trenier. Previous roll, are we okay with that? And previous roll call by Freeman. Seconded by Ortiz. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're gonna, Madam Clerk, please change County Board Member Butler's to no.
For batteries. Please.
Well, we had previous roll call, so do we want a roll call? Are we okay with just, okay, all right.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Number 2 on the agenda, ordinance amending the Will County, Illinois zoning ordinance as amended for zoning case ZC 23094. Moni 32 LLC, owner of record. Matt Walsh of Moni Solar West LLC, agent, requesting a special use permit for a commercial solar energy facility and a special use permit for a battery storage system. A variance for number of required mowings from 5 times to 1 time. A variance for maximum ground cover plant height from 13 inches to 36 inches. This is located in Moni Township, northwest corner of West Pauling Road and South Will Center Road, Moni, Illinois County Board District Number 3. Once again, we're going to take 2 votes on this, same as the last one. One's for the special use permit, one's for the battery storage facility. I motion to approve the special use permit for a commercial solar energy facility.
Motion by Pretzel, second by Newquist. Any discussion? We'll take a roll call because I think, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Balich? No. Trainier? Yes. Dean Schlottman?
No.
Van Dyne?
Yes.
Pretzel?
Yes.
Butler? No. Newquist? Yes. Richmond?
No.
Parker?
Yes.
Williams? Yes. Diaz? Yes. Winfrey? Yes. Coleman? Yes. Logan? Yes. Freeman? Yes. Revis? Yes. Mitchell?
No.
Ortiz? Yes. Berkowitz?
Yes.
Mueller? Yes. Costa?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
16 in the affirmative, the motion carries.
Okay, the second half of this is for special use permit for a battery storage system, and I so move.
Motion by Pretzel, seconded by Newquist. Previous roll.
Roll call, please.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Balich? No. Trainier? Yes. Dean Schlottman?
No.
Van Dyne?
Yes.
Pretzel?
Yes.
Butler? No. Newquist? Yes. Richmond?
No.
Parker?
Yes.
Williams? Yes. Diaz?
Yes.
Winfrey? Yes. Coleman? Yes. Logan?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Revis? Yes. Mitchell?
No.
Ortiz?
Yes.
Berkowitz?
No.
Mueller?
Yes.
Costa?
15 in the affirmative, the motion carries.
First, under resolutions, 24-1, request for a refund of fees. Jeffrey Ryman, owner of record, requesting a refund for zoning case ZC 23069. Special use permit for accessory dwelling unit for PIN number 0824132120270000 in Wilmington Township, commonly known as 34420 South Lakeside Terrace, Wilmington, Illinois, and I so move.
Motion by Pretzel, second by Freeman. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Balich?
Yes.
Trainier?
Yes.
Dean Schlottman?
Yes.
Van Dyne?
Yes.
Pretzel?
Yes.
Butler?
Yes.
Newquist? Richmond? Parker? Williams? Diaz? Winfrey? Coleman? Logan? Freeman? Revis? Mitchell? Ortiz? Berkowitz?
Yes.
Mueller? Costa?
21 in the affirmative, the motion carries.
Next, number 2, 24-2, authorizing the county executive to execute joint funding agreement with the United States Geological Survey for continued operation of rain gauges, and I so move.
Motion by Pretzel, seconded by Freeman. Previous roll call by Newquist, seconded by Dean Schlottman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Next, 24-3, authorizing extension of a special use permit for zoning case ZC 21070, Five Star Landscape Company, Omar Benitez, owner, requesting first special use permit extension of the special use permit for an outdoor storage yard, PIN number 1104142000120000, Lockport Township, commonly known as vacant New Avenue, Lockport, Illinois County Board District Number 5, and I so move.
Motion by Pretzel, seconded by Revis. Previous roll call by Winfrey, seconded by Mitchell. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
24-4, authorizing extension of special use permit for zoning case ZC 21046. Amanda Denwood, owner of record, requesting a first special use permit extension for animal care and boarding with 8 conditions for PIN number 141210400001200000, Manhattan Township, commonly known as 245820 South Kankakee Street, Manhattan, Illinois County Board District Number 2, and I so move.
Motion by Pretzel, seconded by Dean Schlottman. Previous roll call by Newquist, seconded by Richmond. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, that's all she wrote. Next Land Use and Development Committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, February 13th, 2024, 10:30 a.m., right here at the County Office Building.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chair Richmond Finance.
Good morning, Madam Executive. Have 4 items. Oh, sorry. Thank you. We have 4 items today. First one up is the monthly finance report to be placed on file, and I so move.
Second, Revis.
Motion by Richmond, seconded by Revis. Previous roll call by Newquist, seconded by Winfrey. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Second item, Resolution 24-5, authorizing emergency loan to Tort Immunity Fund, and I so move.
Motion by Richmond, seconded by Newquist. Previous roll call by Mueller, seconded by Freeman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Third item, Resolution 24-6, appropriating funds in the sheriff's pre-adjudication forfeiture account, and I so move.
Motion by Richmond, seconded by Winfrey. Previous roll call by Berkowitz, seconded by Mitchell. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Number 4, Resolution 24-7, transferring appropriations within various county budgets, and I so move.
Second, Revis.
Motion by Richmond, seconded by Revis. Previous roll call by Freeman, seconded by Mitchell. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Next Finance Committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, February 6, 2024, at 11 o'clock right here at the county building.
Thank you. Chair Van Dyne.
Thank you and good morning, Madam Executive. The Public Works and Transportation Committee has multiple items to consider, starting with Resolution 24-8, authorizing approval of professional services agreement for design engineering services for Gauger Road, County Highway 52 from Spencer to Faro, County Board District 2 and 5, and I so move.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Mueller. Previous roll call by Dean Schlottman, seconded by Freeman. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Number 2, Resolution 24-9, authorizing approval of agreement for purchase of wetland banking site credits, $60,000 for Weber Road, County Highway 88 at Knapp Drive intersection, County Board District 5, and I'll make that motion.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Williams. Previous roll call by Freeman. Second Diaz. All in favor? Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries.
Number 3, 24-10, authorizing approval of establishment of altered speed zone 681 along Wilmington Peatone Road, County Highway 25 in District 2, and I so move.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Freeman. Previous roll call by Winfrey. Seconded by Berkowitz. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
24-11, authorizing an IGA with the Village of New Lenox for improvements on Laraway Road, County Highway 74, from Stonebridge Drive East to Cedar Road, County Highway 4, District 2. I so move.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Pretzel. Previous roll call by Diaz. Second by Freeman. All in favor? Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries.
24-12, providing title commitment reports for use by county from Wheatland Title Guarantee Company for Gauger from Spencer to Faro, County Board District 2 and 5, and I so move.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Pretzel. Previous roll call by Berkowitz. Seconded by Newquist. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
24-13, providing title commitment reports for use by county from Wheatland Title Guarantee Company for Gauger Road, County Highway 52, from Faro to Francis, County Highway 64, same districts. I so move.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Diaz. Previous roll call. Newquist, seconded by Ortiz. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
24-14, authorizing approval of establishment of altered speed zones 682 and through 686 along various streets in Smitty's Lakeview Estates subdivision in Crete, County Board District 3. I so move.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Butler. Previous roll call by Winfrey, seconded by Mueller. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Number 8, 24-15, authorizing an IGA between the Village of Romeoville, Caroline Adult Master Association, and the County of Will for maintenance and energy of traffic signals at the intersection of Weber. County Board District 9, and I so move.
Second, Freeman.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Ortiz. Previous by Diaz, seconded by Freeman. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
24-16, authorizing an IGA between the Village of Romeoville and the County of Will for the maintenance and energy of traffic signals at the intersection of Weber Road and High Point Drive, County Board District 9, and I'll make that motion.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Ortiz. Previous roll call by Mueller. Did I hear a second? Sorry, seconded by Diaz. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
24-17, authorizing approval of an IDOT County joint agreement for improvements of Renwick Road, County Highway 36 at Independence Boulevard, Illinois 53, Districts 5 and 9, and I so move.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Ortiz. Previous roll call by Freeman. Seconded by Mueller. I don't recognize your voice. Yeah, I know. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And lastly, 24-18, improvement by county under the Illinois Highway Code for improvements of Renwick Road, County Highway 36 at Independence Boulevard, using our MFT funds, $20,000. County Boards District 5 and 9, and I so move.
Second, Freeman.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Freeman. Previous roll call by Ortiz, seconded by Winfrey. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And I would just like to mention that our county is asking for the residents of Will County to share their goals for the future of transportation by way of Our Way Forward 2050. It's our long-range transportation plan. We're inviting the residents to join us for an open house on Tuesday, February 6th and Wednesday, February 7th. And you can register for that virtual open house at ourwaywill.co. That concludes our report, and our next Public Works and Transportation Committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, February 6th, 2024 at 9 a.m.
Thank you. Public Health and Public Safety Committee.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's very nice to be able to say good morning. We had a rather quick meeting this month with reports from Sunny Hill Nursing Home, Health Department, and Behavioral Health. But I have just one thing to bring forward, one resolution, number 23-384. This ordinance changes went through legislative committee and many questions were answered before it was passed unanimously. We are bringing this one back this month, and I'm hoping that we can get it through as well. It's authorizing the renaming of the Will County Animal Control Department to Will County Animal Protection Services Department, and I so move.
Motion by Freeman, seconded by Mueller. Previous roll call by Mitchell, seconded by Diaz. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. The next Public Health and Public Safety Committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, February 13th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Legislative Committee?
Thank you, Madam Executive. So during legislative this month, we were brought forward a new animal control ordinance, which the committee took the time to briefly go through and work collaboratively with the state's attorney, tweaked it a little bit, and what you have in front of you today is an exciting update of our ordinance, and we bring it forward for you today for approval. And so I'd like to motion to open the public hearing for any comment.
We have a motion by Berkowitz, seconded by Buell. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Balich. Yes. Trainier. Yes. Dean Schlottman. Yes. Van Dyne. Yes. Pretzel.
Yes.
Butler. Yes. Newquist. Yes. Richmond. Yes. Parker.
Yes.
Williams. Yes. Diaz. Yes. Winfrey. Yes. Coleman. Yes. Logan. Yes. Freeman. Yes. Revis. Mitchell. Yes. Ortiz. Berkowitz.
Yes.
Mueller. Yes. Costa.
We are now in public hearing. Please be advised, absolutely no new evidence or information will be allowed once this public hearing is closed. Do we have any comments in regarding this ordinance in public hearing? Once, going twice? Right. No, you're, well, you can go during discussion. You're going to talk, we're in public hearing, so yeah, you can go during discussion. I don't see any comments. County Board Member Berkowitz, would you like to make a motion to close?
Yes, I'd like a motion to close public hearing, please.
Is there a second? Second Ortiz. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trainier. Dean Schlottman. Van Dyne. Pretzel.
Yes.
Butler. Newquist. Richmond. Parker. Williams. Diaz. Winfrey. Coleman. Logan. Freeman. Revis. Mitchell. Ortiz. Berkowitz.
Yes.
Mueller. Costa.
All right.
Public
and
hearing is now closed.
Okay, and I motion to
Hold on, I gotta-
approve 24-19, or the ordinance amending the Will County Animal Control Ordinance and renaming it the Will County Animal Protection Services Ordinance, excuse me.
Hold on 1 second here. We have another resolution prior to that. Yeah, we have nothing with,
No, I'm right here. Resolution? We don't have a. Should I reread it, Jennifer? Okay, thank you. I motion to approve 24-19, the ordinance amending the Will County Animal Control Ordinance and renaming it the Will County Animal Protection Services Ordinance.
motion by Berkowitz, seconded by Ortiz. Previous roll call by Diaz. Second by Mitchell. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And is there any discussion?
Sorry, you're right. We went right through it. Mr. Butler, I'm going to suspend my own rules because I know you wanted to make a comment about that, although the voting is done, so, but yes, you can, you're usually louder. Yeah.
Okay, so I did have no problem, I had no problem with the motion, only I would have liked the one part in 90.06 to be amended where it says potentially dangerous dog, a dog found running at large and unsupervised with 3 or more other dogs, and I would like that to be 2 or more other dogs.
Okay, well, I'm going to suggest that since you already voted on this, we've already voted on it.
Well, I
Wait,
mean,
hold on. We can't do it anyway. So I'm going to let Mary explain, sorry.
So that language tracks the state statute. We cannot be more restrictive than the state statute. So that's the definition of,
but when you say restrictive, aren't we talking about the spirit of intent? So if they
No,
say that there's
no.
3, so you're saying we could change it to 4?
no. I think that we have to follow the language in the statute.
But I thought that county code allowed you to be a little bit, you could follow that code.
No, because then you're imposing on the rights of the animal owner more restrictively. No, the definition of, and I'm sorry, dangerous or vicious dog was it that we were talking about?
Yes.
Provides for 3 incidents. And that's what we cannot change that definition.
Did you say 3 incidents?
3, I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me.
It's basically, we're talking about a wild pack of dogs here, like, they're saying that they're only considered dangerous if there's 3 or more dogs
Correct.
attacking somebody, not 2 or more.
Correct.
We'll let, the chair, or
Potentially
our
dangerous
director
dog,
come
a
up.
dog found running at large and unsupervised.
We've,
with three
now
or
we have a
more
whole bunch of
dogs.
questions,
Okay,
guys, so,
so-
you
so-
just voted on, you passed it with no questions.
That's okay, that's okay.
I mean,
That's okay, it's a valid question. So it's per the Illinois Animal Control Act. You're deeming them potentially dangerous if there's 3 or more running in a pack. They don't even need to do anything. There's a separate definition for 1 dog or 2 dogs that engage in behavior that is equivalent to being a dangerous dog because they attacked, bit a person or companion animal. So that's a separate thing. So this is just, we're showing that because there's multiple dogs running together, there is potential for bad things to happen. And again, that's per the state statute. So we're just mirroring that there.
So you may be familiar with this person that lives in Crete who they have 3 dogs next door that constantly get loose and corner people up on, they make them climb up in the trees and stuff. But because they're, there has to be more than what they show, or only 2 of them are doing it at a time, but it's like a pack of dogs that get wild, loose all the time.
So I'm not familiar with that specific incident, but we're looking at multiple things then. Are they running at large? We can address that, right?
Yeah.
That's a separate issue. Are they current on their vaccines? Are they licensed with the county? Is it within City of Crete? Does Crete have their own ordinances they can impose? So there's things we can do to address this.
It's unincorporated, and I've dealt with, animal protection, or what do we switched it to, right? Not
Yeah.
animal control. A few times on this, and the people are just very frustrated because it's neighbors and they got a bunch of dogs and they get out periodically. And, there's been a couple times where only 2 of them cornered somebody.
So since this is kind of like an individual issue as a county board member, I am going to suggest that you two
Talk to me
connect each
anytime.
other, and
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
can help you respond
Well,
to your
it
constituents.
just seemed reasonable that,
Yeah, no, it's fine.
absolutely.
And you had a
2
question
dogs
regarding
could be
that? Yeah.
considered dangerous as opposed to 3 or more.
Yeah,
All right, very good.
I hear you.
And I'm going to let County Board Member Mitchell speak, and then we'll go back to the chair here, because again, we voted on this already. You guys got to yell louder. Got to,
I'm with it, obviously.
Yeah.
Just really quick question.
Yes.
I didn't understand that. I get it, but I don't. So if it's like 3 Yorkies running together, are we saying that they're dangerous, or I'm just asking that question?
Have you met a small pack of dogs? Because they, they think they're big dogs. Again, per the Illinois Animal Control Act, the state statute does define this, and so we're mirroring that language, that we can. It doesn't mean we will, but we can deem those dogs potentially dangerous because they're running at large, running off of their property in packs of 3 or more. Yeah, yep.
all right, we're going back to Chair Berkowitz.
Thank you. So my question is, does this impact our county dog parks in any way?
There's
Because
no
they're
reg-
designated areas.
Yeah, there's no regulation specific to dog parks in
Okay,
the ordinance.
so we don't have to worry about this?
Yes.
Excellent,
Yep.
thank you. Yes, okay. No more
Okay,
questions?
thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Okay, so, we already made the motion to approve,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, you're just going to share the next meeting?
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Our next legislative committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, February 6th at 12 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to capital improvements.
Are we sure? Okay. Good morning, everyone. We did not have any resolutions to pass this month. We had our usual reports regarding the capital improvement projects happening around the county. So if you'd like to read over those, there's a report attached to my agenda, and that's all. Thanks.
And your next meeting is?
On Tuesday, February 6th, 2024 at 10 a.m. Thanks.
Thank you. Landfill Committee?
Good morning, Madam Executive. And it is still morning. We actually had quite a long meeting this month. Mr. Halston came and gave us some long but important information about the landfill and where we will be moving from here. So as we go forward with these meetings, more information will be given and revealed. So if you would like to join us for the next meeting, it is Thursday, February 1st, here in this building at 11 a.m.
Thank you. Executive Committee?
Thank you, Madam Executive. Resolution 24-20, authorizing the county executive to execute a lease agreement with Frankfort Township for the Branch Court facility, and I so move.
Second, Mitchell.
Motion by Parker, seconded by Mitchell. Previous roll call by Bueller, seconded by Diaz. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, the next executive committee meeting is scheduled for Thursday, February 1st, 2024 at 10 a.m. And now appointments by the county executive. Wait, do I do that? You do that. Who do that? You do. Okay. Resolution 24-21, executive appointments to the Will County Stormwater Management Planning Committee, and I so move.
Motion by Parker, seconded by Mueller. Previous roll call by Trenier, seconded by Pretzel. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 24-22, approving county executive appointments to the Emergency Telephone System Board of Will County, and I so move.
Motion by Parker, seconded by Mueller. Previous roll call by Freeman, seconded by Ortiz. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right. Thank you. At this time, are there any public comments relevant to matters under the jurisdiction of the county? Do you have any public comments? We do have some to read in, but we will allow people in attendance first. Yeah, okay. No, you have to, we have to have you at the mic, so sorry, so we can record it. And
I know, really, exactly. Woo. My name is Christy Nasser. I own Chrisland Farm on 143rd Street. I was told by some people last night that today you were going to be doing a vote on 143rd Street. So I apologize for my attire, but I do not apologize for my attire because I came straight from my barn this morning and it was supposed to be 9 o'clock, but it was 9:30. Anyway, my comment to everybody here, and I'm glad I'm here because there's a lot of committee people, and you're not talking about 143rd Street. But I just wanted to remind everybody that Homer Glen started out as the farmland to Joliet, Lockport, and Lamont. I'm a representative in my attire, as everybody can see today, nice and stinky. It was farmland to begin with. So I hope that everybody keeps this into consideration when we're trying to work on the expansion of 143rd Street. Let's keep it down to 3 lanes. Let's keep it down to more rural, more farmland, slower roads. You guys are all here. Let's influence everybody that you possibly can. You have an opportunity to change the face of Homer Glen, which is part of Will County. Keep it up in this area as open, more open space, little farmettes. People are slowing down, and we don't have to do like lots of businesses and people driving through quickly. My last comment is I am from Burr Ridge. I was on County Line Road, just north of Plainfield Road, and at one point, the Burr Ridge people, the committee wanted to widen it to 4 lanes because they felt that there was a lot of traffic going on County Line Road, and what it really was I-55, people cutting through to come through Hinsdale and pop over to 294. We kept it to 2 lanes, kept the speed limit slow at 35 miles an hour. And what happened is the real estate went up in that area because we kept it small, residential, and estates. You guys have the exact same opportunity to do this on 143rd Street. From people coming off of 355, slow it down. You've got a lot of farmettes in there. Really work on creating a whole different idea of Homer Glen, where you have these little farmettes and residential, like some of the areas up north. Because once it's gone, people, it's gone forever, and you can't get that back. Like I said, we fought it in Burr Ridge. People are so happy that we did. Please, 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 slow that traffic down. You can do the 3 lanes. Don't do the 5 with the drainage ditches and all that type of stuff, because my over 1,000 feet on 143rd Street is going to be impacted. I'm 35 acres. They're going to take land from me, and take my fences down. So you're going to change that whole look of coming into Homer Glen. I mean, let's slow that traffic down. You know, embrace the fact that we've got open space in Homer Glen and keep it that way. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Madam, okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Michael Johnston. Hello, my name is Mike Johnston. My wife and I have attended several Will County Board meetings over the years as we are engaged in our community, always wanting to learn more about the happenings in Will County. We've especially been attending recent monthly board meetings to support our neighbors who are against a solar farm installation in their community. The last few board meetings, many of us in the gallery have noticed some out-of-the-ordinary actions by a few board members. We feel you did not notice as you and other colleagues were listening to what residents had to say when having the opportunity to speak in front of the board. If you did, you would have not let what we witnessed to happen. During the November 16th meeting, one board member stood out the most. We noticed from the gallery she wasn't truly engaged with what residents had to say. From the nameplate on the desk, it read Destiny Ortiz. Ms. Ortiz seemed uninterested in what we were saying. As from the gallery, everyone watched her being extremely engaged on her cell phone. Later in the meeting, Ms. Ortiz got up and proceeded to walk out of the room. While the meeting was going on, we assumed she stepped away to use the washroom, as others have done, as it was a very long meeting. One resident mentioned to everyone that she was walking out with her coat and sunglasses. She was gone for some time. When returning, she proceeded to pass out sandwiches to a fellow board member adjacent to her and proceeded to eat her sandwich in front of everyone, looking at her phone while proceedings were still going on. Later, making trips to a back room for a beverage. To us, it seems Ms. Ortiz is not enthusiastic about being there or even being part of the board. Very unprofessional. If this is true, she should not serve as and have a person who really cares. At the December 21st meeting, we noticed other board members, not all engaged with their cell phones than anything else when the meeting was open to anyone in the gallery who wanted to speak. We understand that a person might get an important email, but to be so focused on a cell phone seems to be not the case. It was pointed out to everyone that one board member wore sweatpants and a yellow utility jacket to the meeting. Other board members were professionally dressed or had some Christmas attire on. To us, it didn't seem appropriate attire for a person who holds such a position. My fellow residents and myself are extremely grateful that the board voted against solar farm installation. This was something everyone was passionate about and truly believed in to save our community, our way of life, the land, wildlife, and our children and grandchildren's future. Thank you for listening to our concerns, seeing what harm comes with having a solar structure in place inside a residential neighborhood, and voting against the solar farm. As one board member commented, he said the board needs to make their own decisions based on what is good for the county. Its residents, after hearing from them, Springfield doesn't always know what is best for Will County. We hope and the hardworking employees of Will County have a blessed new year. Thank you for your time. Teresa McGuire, finally a positive decision about the courthouse, not worth saving. Dina Haskins, 143rd Street project, please stop this unnecessary development. This type of development is very destructive to all living creatures around it. From noise, light, and air pollution, please reconsider. Have we not learned our lesson on overbuilding of office and strip malls in the past? A waste of limited resources. Rosemarie Donovich. Rosemarie Donovich opposed the expansion of 143rd for various reasons. One, live in retirement village at Victoria Village. Many visitors and residents walk across 143rd to the various shops to buy groceries. Two, driving out onto 143rd is very difficult as it is a speedway since most drive 50 miles an hour, not 40, which is the speed limit. Expanding this road will cause many seniors difficulty trying to get out onto 143rd as it is difficult right now. Please consider the small businesses and the many residents and type of residents that live in this area. Please read my email into the record. Thank you. Doris Heil, as a longtime resident of Homer Glen, I would vigorously like to protest the widening of 143rd Street west of Bell Road. I feel that widening will not only infringe on the residents along that road, upset the area ecology, and encourage truck traffic through a residential neighborhood. Thank you. Kyle McCluskey, regarding the 143rd Street expansion project, the village of Homer Glen should be looking at long-term effects, the negative it will have for people that live on that street. The preservation for the trees and land should be top priority. Added truck routes make area congested, especially when there are plenty of truck routes in that area that can be used. Homer Glen should be preserving all open spaces and the land that, because you can't get it back once it's gone. Furthermore, the 143rd Street widening would make the road more dangerous, especially to residents that live along the road. The speed limits should be reduced to help people leave their own driveway. Think of what everyone should stand for protecting the beauty and nature Homer Glen holds. Joseph Turais. I do not wish to have the 143rd Street Road widened in Homer Glen, Illinois from Bell Road on the east and Lamont Road on the west. The rerouting of the 5,000 automobiles and trucks per day through our residential streets is unbearable. There is nothing that the Will County Sheriff can do to stop this from happening. It is predicted that the construction may last perhaps 7 years. The President Road is fine, as we do not want to encourage truck traffic. John Bielowitz. As a resident of Homer Glen, I have vehemently opposed to the expansion of 143rd Street. My wife and I travel regularly on this road to get our usual shopping and restaurants on Bell Road. We moved to Homer Glen to enjoy natural open spaces and the county feeling of the rural setting with horses, sheep, and cattle adding to the charm. There are many reasons for being against the expansion. The number one reason is the negative impact it would have for the residents who are on 143rd Street. We attended the recent meeting at Will County regarding this project and heard 0 residents who are in favor of the project. I am certain there isn't one person who would ever be in favor of losing property and property value or having speeding vehicles many feet closer to their homes. However, I'm not opposed to adding a turning lane where appropriate to eliminate backups and allow for a safer thoroughfare. The negative effect on the trees, animals, water, runoff, noise, and safety are all additional factors against an expansion. It would be most appreciated if the elected officials in charge will listen to the voices of the people they represent and follow their wishes rather than expansion plans that will not benefit our immediate community. Growth and expansion shouldn't always be the goal for a community. At some point, equilibrium must be reached or we will regret it in the future when more pavement would be seen than God's green earth. Eileen Solt. Please vote no for the expansion of 143rd. My husband and I attended a recent Public Works meeting and all in attendance and the comments read into the record were against the widening of this unique and precious road. Please hear our voices as once the landscape has changed so drastically, the unique beauty of this road will be lost forever, along with the safety for those who own homes and our farms on 143rd Street. James Shake. Dear Will County Board, I am writing to you today with a heartfelt plea regarding the proposed project to widen 143rd Street from 2 lanes to 4 lanes, a matter of great significance to our community. As a concerned member of our community, I urge you to reconsider the expansion project considering the potential implications it may have on our well-being and safety. While recognizing the importance of infrastructure development for progress, it is crucial that we carefully assess the impact of such initiatives on the fabric of our town. Over 10 years ago, our county received a substantial sum of $7 million from the federal government to undertake this endeavor. However, as we fast forward to the present, concerns surrounding the expansion of 143rd Street have only intensified, particularly with the looming possibility of transforming our quaint town into a truck route. Along this route, there are 3 schools, a fire department, and several horse farms, adding an additional layer of complexity to the potential issues that could arise. The safety of our residents, especially our children attending these schools, should be a paramount consideration in any development project. The absence of sidewalks along this route raises significant concerns about the safety of pedestrians and young cyclists who currently utilize this road. Moreover, the implementation of sidewalks would require significant land from existing home sites, creating a further challenge for our residents. The expansion not only brings about increased traffic, but also heightens the risk for those who depend on this route for daily commutes and recreational activities. At the core of this issue is the very essence of our community. We must ask ourselves whether the convenience of a widened road is worth compromising the safety and tranquility of our town. The potential dangers posed by large trucks navigating through our residential areas are undeniable. Without essential infrastructure like sidewalks, we expose our community members to unnecessary risks. I respectfully urge you, as members of the decision-making body, to reconsider the priorities of this project. Let us collectively focus on enhancing our community without jeopardizing the safety of our residents, especially those attending schools along this route. There exist alternative solutions that can achieve both progress and safety. By engaging in open dialogue and considering the diverse perspectives within our community, we can find a solution that benefits us all. In conclusion, let us bear in mind that the strength of a community lies in its ability to protect and uplift its residents. As we move forward, let us do so with the utmost consideration for the well-being of those who call this town home. Eldon Urbicus. We are against the proposed widening of 143rd Street from Parker Road to I-355, and we believe that this project is unnecessary for numerous reasons. The expansion will bring a great deal of commercial truck traffic to the area and lead to more pollution and danger to residents from increase in traffic. The traffic increases will also inevitably lead to issues in the neighborhoods as the traffic goes into neighborhoods in effort to avoid the bottlenecks that will occur as they attempt to find a shortcut. The expansion will require the taking of land from recreational areas, agriculture areas, and most importantly, residential areas. This is unfair to not only the residents and property owners, but will lead to a decrease in property values, which will lead to less revenue for the county and the township. There is no existing plan to widen 143rd in Cook County and Orland Park. If the expansion of 143rd is approved, there will be a negative effect on all the main crossing arterial streets, as the traffic will bottleneck where the expansion ends, and again cause more traffic to feed into the residential areas and become a hazard to all of the residents within a several-mile radius of 143rd Street as the traffic looks for alternate routes. It is unfair to all the residents of the area, particularly those who border 143rd Street and the entire area who moved here to be in sleepy Homer Glen to live in rural residential way of life. Progress is progress, but there are numerous areas designated as commercial space in the area that can handle any projected retail or commercial expansion without having to widen 143rd Street. What about the litigation that will undoubtedly occur as the residents band together to fight this expansion? I know many of them would prefer to pay attorneys to fight this issue. Does the county have funds to pay attorneys to fight the will of the people? Does Will County have the members? Does Will County and members of the board want to make enemies of all the residents who have supported them over the years? I think not. We urge you to vote against the widening of 143rd Street. Lawrence E. Hazlett. We are vigorously opposed to any and all action by the county to widen or expand either roadway through Homer Township, either the Hadley Road and or 143rd Street. As it is obvious, both roads go through virtually only residential areas with no commercial businesses and with many driveways accessing the right-of-ways. Roads would allow any kind of heavy through traffic of heavy over-the-road trucks would be extremely dangerous to the inhabitants living in the proximity to the roads. Joan Brensnow. As a resident of Homer Glen, I would like to have my opinion read into the record of the board meeting on Tuesday, January 2024, regarding the expansion of 143rd Street. I strongly oppose the expansion through Homer Glen and the township. We built our home here in 1976 and raised our children in this community. It was mostly rural, and we love the quiet, peaceful atmosphere. Change is inevitable, and we saw many other families attracted to this area for the same reasons. This area is now considered residential. The expansion of 143rd would pose a safety hazard for our community and put its residents at risk. Besides many single-family homes, there are 2 elementary schools that bus children, a church, a senior living complex, and a daycare center located along 143rd. The few businesses that exist are small businesses. Recently, 159th Street and another east-west road was expanded and exists only 1.5 miles from 143rd. It has become a major roadway with an increase in truck traffic, noise pollution, and high speeds. There is no need to put another truck route so close to 159th and within our small community. Would you want this if you lived here? As elected officials, I urge you to do what's right. Consider your constituents and residents who make their daily lives here in Homer Glen. Vote no for this unwanted, unneeded, expensive, and hazardous plan to expand 143rd Street. Thomas Keaveney. Do not cut any trees or widen Parker Road. Lowering the speed limit would help. Sharon Faltz. Good morning. As a Homer Glen resident, I'd like to let you know that I'm opposed to the 143rd Street project. We moved here 27 years ago, and I love this small town feel. We have all these big towns and cities around us, but please don't bring this to our little village. Jack Faltz. This is in regards to the Homer Glen 143rd Street project. Maybe initially when it was proposed, it seemed like a good idea, but now it is not in the best interest of our community. We do not need another shortcut to 355. 159th was expanded to handle increased truck and car traffic. Homer Glen is regarded as an oasis in an urban jungle and needs to be protected as such to maintain a country atmosphere, a place to see nature's beauty without traffic noise and congestion. I see no benefits to our community by moving forward with this plan. The costs far outweigh the benefits of any proposed developments. Barbara Dongus, my husband and I are against the 143rd Street project, which will allow for wider roads and more traffic. Patricia Laufer, this is in regards to the 143rd Street project. We who live in Homer chose to do so because of the small town country atmosphere. We do not want 143rd to be used by large trucks for the safety of our children attending schools in the area or our neighbors losing more of their yard and trees. Please reject this. Paula Banks. Please do not widen 143rd Street lest it becomes a major thoroughfare like 159th. There are too many neighborhoods, churches, residences, and schools along this route to have this much traffic and speeding like on 159th. It is not necessary or beneficial to the community.
That is it. Thank you very much. We're moving on to comments by county board members. County Board Member Berkowitz.
Thank you, Madam Executive. I actually have public comment. I was told Tuesday night that the county executive had created a new format to submit public comment, having to go on the website and submit it at a certain.
I'm going to stop you right now because you're wrong. I don't take care of public comment. The county board does.
Okay, so nonetheless, this was an email that we received, and so I'll be reading it into public comment. It's from Tom Egan regarding Battery Builders LLC, 31 West 238 91st Street, Naperville, Illinois. BBI is a lead-acid battery manufacturer which has its factory directly across the street from Carillon Club, which is a retirement community in Naperville. I'm taking this opportunity to provide written notice to the board of the unwelcome and unfair struggles Carillon has and continues to endure against BBI. Thick clouds of smoke bellow out of multiple BBI smokestacks, and mind-numbing machinery noise permeates our houses, ears and minds at all hours of the day and night, pretty much 24/7. Per literature available online, battery manufacturing is a dirty and dangerous process which uses myriad highly toxic elements and chemicals. BBI self-reports to the EPA, also available online, that it discharges at a minimum level toxic lead, antimony and antimony compounds from those smokestacks. This is even after repeatedly telling Carillon, residents in Carillon, the discharges were nothing but steam. BBI said it was steam from showers that its workers must take after dealing with the poisonous battery chemicals. Inexplicably, the EPA recently approved a doubling of capacity at the BBI facility, which has reported a steady rise of lead and antimony discharges since 2017, which was long after houses in Carillon were built. This was permitted even though we have found no evidence that the EPA and IEPA tested the discharges to see if BBI's self-reporting was accurate or whether the discharges contain a host of other likely toxic elements. While the air assault is unsightly and dangerous, the noise assault from BBI is even more direct and immediately infuriating. The volume noise constantly emanating from the factory's machine varies from unbearable to annoying. There is often a high-pitched dog whistle noise that cuts into homes and minds. Residents can't work in their homes or sleep, and we had to just forget about using our patios or other outside spaces during the precious and few fair weather months. The noise is so bad that it often penetrates for blocks into the subdivision and can be clearly heard echoing through the modest, though cherished, Carillon Golf Course. Quiet, please. When you add this unnecessary factory noise to the area train noise and traffic and racing noises, which we've also been trying to wrangle, we may as well be living on an airport runway with a drag raceway alongside of it. Recent Chicago Tribune articles have highlighted the choice communities must make between prosperity from economic activities and the environmental and health burdens imposed by those activities. Many times, the groups most unable to bear the burdens of these activities are forced to bear them. Folks without the wherewithal to resist the tyranny of the progress must pay the heavy price of health issues, death, property value diminution, and diminished quality of life. These burdens are an unfair tax on the residents nearest the site of these economic activities that are carried out without any regard for their well-being. The board is now aware of the problems beset upon Carillon by BBI. We have made repeated and strenuous attempts over more than 10 months to engage the full board and many other applicable state and local government entities to help us. So far, at best, we have been largely ignored, and at worst, we've been told to shut up. Applicable statutes and regulations that were duly enacted to cover these aggressions on our life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness are being unused or ignored by officials who either stay mute upon inquiry or provide nonsensical answers. That nonsense does not cancel the other nonsense. We also so understand how the factory was zoned light industrial, as reported to us by the sheriff. Common definitions of light manufacturing describe it as producing products for end users rather than as intermediaries for uses in other industries. Using processes carried on or the machinery used in such as if carried on or used in a residential area would not cause detriment to the amenity of that area, including detriment by reason of noise, vibration, smell, fumes, electrical interference, smoke, soot, ash, dust, or grit. Per its website, BBI makes batteries for insertion in forklifts, trucks, etc., not end consumers, and its processes can't be described as non-detrimental to the amenity of the area. We invite the board to examine the many videos we have submitted to authorities documenting the noise and smoke at all hours of the day and night and weekends. We tried to negotiate in good faith directly with BBI and felt we were making progress until BBI abruptly told us, after promising to address problems, that Will County knows all about this. So basically, don't inquire about it anymore. Our attempts to at least have the Will County Sheriff enforce reasonable anti-noise statutes after 10 p.m. when we sleep have either been intentionally overlooked or the sheriff's officer, on the few times while responding, admits the noise is bad, but he has to check with or issuing a citation. The citations never occur. We need help to squash these ridiculous and unfair costs imposed upon us. We have tried to avoid taking legal action, which would not be pleasant for anyone. The open and notorious behavior of BBI leaves many who know or should have known accountable. I don't advocate for big government to solve all problems, but I do expect that an effective government helps its citizens in circumstances where it is in a unique position to do so, like this one. We have tried to forge a community, governmental, and industry partnership to find a mutually beneficial solution to these problems, but no such partnership is possible if the governmental and industry components of the partnership refuse to engage. With such engagement, creative solutions can be found. For example, if there are state and federal funds available to help clean up BBI's facility, then let's help them find those funds and solve the problems. We need impetus for BBI to change, and then motivated minds can find a way. We need help, and we need it now, right now. Please help us. So again, this comment came from a resident, a Will County resident, Mr. Tom Egan. These are not my words, but it is my duty as an elected official that represents the entire county and is elected by my district. I have an obligation to bring this forward and read this. Even when the feedback, in fact, does criticize the members of the Will County Board. I accept that, and it is something that we have an obligation to present and acknowledge. So for that matter, I would like to make sure that this is posted on the agenda so other people can read this. The public can go on. I was always under the impression that all of these public comments should be able to be read at a later date if somebody goes into these meeting minutes. So perhaps we can take that to public comment by the board as well.
I'm not exactly sure what you're referencing there, but we will, I mean, I'm not really sure what you were saying in regards to Those will go, because it's, if you have a gift copy, you can give it to them to put in the records, yeah. And just so everyone is aware, there is, county board rules dictated that you, county board can now have public comments online. That was your decision. What was changed recently was we had a specific place, it was just changed to clarify it more. Am I correct with that? So people knew if you wanted public comment. Public comment is different than people writing to the entire county board. I mean, you'll get, some of you will get blankets, so just so you know, there is a specific link, and I'm sure that could be shared with everyone, for people who are on, it's on your main page of the county board website, for people who want to put it in county board. Yeah. There are any rules? Yeah. It's always been there, so yeah. So you have to remember, public comment's new via COVID. We never did public comment via online. Because we went to COVID, we did it. The county board decided to continue that process, and it's always been on the webpage there. I can't help if you weren't instructed, but we will have that. You can give that to the county clerk if you'd like. Yeah. Yeah, okay, again, I believe it, I'm going to say, again, that's not us, you have to talk to your staff. That is not us here, we have to talk to your staff. Okay, so why don't you have a conversation with your staff after, yeah. Okay, County Board Member Van Dyne. You're on, oh, you turned yourself off, okay. You're
On
on
and
now.
off, yeah. Thank you. I'm sure some folks are aware that in the southern part of the county, we've had some sort of crisis since Monday morning. The Kankakee River has developed an ice jam, and over the last few days, because of the deep freeze, and over the last few days, the ice jam has backed up approximately a total of 10 miles back into the city of Wilmington. On behalf of the residents of unincorporated Wilmington area and Will County and the residents of Wilmington, I would like to personally thank you for your leadership in declaring a emergency proclamation. I truly believe that that did help in aiding in the process to try to eliminate this damage. Also, I would like to thank Allison Anderson from our Emergency Management Agency here in Will County. I've been on the phone with her and you as well for the last few days. I think she's doing an amazing job, and I just want to thank her on behalf of the residents. And also, Constellation is involved, the Dresden Nuclear Powerhouse. They've been very supportive of our efforts, and I want to thank them for being a great neighbor in the southern part of Will County. So thank you very much.
Thank you. County Board Member Coastal.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Executive. As a board member of the Community Mental Health Board, I want to give this board and the public an update on our progress. We are currently preparing for a needs assessment that we're planning to be done in collaboration with the Will Grundy Medical Clinic and the MAP Collaborative. Once that needs assessment is done, by middle of this year, we are slated to put out an application to get different organizations across Will County to support in the deficits of our mental health care services across the county. I am disturbed and concerned because counterparts of mine on the Republican side of this board is displaying false and misleading information regarding our work on the Community Mental Health Board. I think it is reckless, I think that it is dangerous, and it is just not factual. Since the inception of this board in February of 2023, we have met every single month, except for 2 months during the months of September and October, in order to prepare for making the case that we need to budget appropriately to serve the needs of our community and the gaps in mental health care services, development disabilities, and substance abuse. We've got a 9-person board. We've expanded it from 7 to 9. And these board members are healthcare administrators like myself, are healthcare professionals, registered nurses, therapists, psychologists, people who have experienced their own mental health care issues within their homes and their family that are committed to this work. They have credibility, and they are going to provide the oversight needed for us to do this work in the community. So I ask that all of us on this county board be proud of the work that we're doing. Do not disparage this work, and do not send misleading information to our community members, because this is so damn needed. Thank you.
County Board Member Williams.
Hello, everyone. I was asked to relay some information to my fellow board members about the ethics training. There seem to be 2 ethics trainings, one for Will Be Well and the other that we need to take for just elected officials. So I was told that we need to make sure that we get that in, and they're going to have different dates as opposed to the ones that they have set up now. Any further questions, you need to contact staff, but it's the ethics training for elected officials.
Thank you. Anything from Leader Ballage or Leader Ballage? Thank you. Leader Trenier.
Thank you, Madam Executive. I really don't have much today. This is almost a historic occasion. I think since all of these new board members got elected, I'm not sure we've ever had a meeting end before 11:30. So that's pretty exciting. This month, I happened to view a program on Netflix. And in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King and the work that he's done, I think it's important from time to time to revisit history, not just read a proclamation, although I appreciate that as well, not just get a holiday off from work, although some people did have Monday off. But I think it's also a good time to reflect on why we honor this man's birthday. Learn about his mission to create change through peace. And I watched a documentary this past weekend called 31st. It's currently streaming on Netflix. Gives you quite a bit of history on Jim Crow laws and things that happened regarding the civil rights movement. And so I would just encourage folks to consider watching that and travel safely. It's still going to be cold out for a few more days, and we might even get some more snow. So have a good day.
Thank you. All right, I too want to comment on the efficiency of this meeting. Congratulations. Happy New Year. But we are going to go into executive session. So I need a motion to go into executive session. Motion by, oh, I'm sorry, I have to always say what it's for. So we're going into executive session for probable litigation. I have a motion by Trenier, seconded by Revis. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Balich. Trenier. Dean Schlottman. Van Dyne. Pretzel. Butler. Newquist. Richmond. Parker. Williams. Diaz. Winfrey. Coleman. Logan. Freeman. Revis. Mitchell. Ortiz. Berkowitz. Mueller. Costa.
21. Okay, we are now in executive session. We're going to clear out the room.